So I get a email at 7:30 this morning. I didn't read it till 8:30. That at 3:30 this morning, Schema Archimandrite Panteleimon, formerly Seraphim Vopal, at Holy Cross Monastery, reposed in the Lord, and he was only tantraed into the Great Schema last week, maybe a week before. And I don't know if this is in good or bad taste. I would hope it's in good taste. I have a very long history with Holy Cross and with Schema Archimandrite Panteleimon, and I can't get the lighting right. I don't care. All good, by the way. And so I wanted to share a couple of things, some memories, very short ones, of, at the time, Father Seraphim, and at the time of his repose, Schema Archimandrite Panteleimon. I went there for an extended visit. As a lot of you know, I tried to be a monk. Didn't work out. It happens. But, in the lead up to, like, the long stay, as I call it, I was there for a period of, like, a couple weeks. Going way back, we're talking, like, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. It was right after Bishop George had been transferred, and Father Seraphim, at the time, had been elevated to Archimandrite. And, visitors and aspirants or whatever, they go to him for confession. And then, so they post a list for confession, name, time. And I remember glancing over it, and I didn't see Raphael on the list. So I was like, okay, I guess he just ran out of time or something. And so he comes to me after Vespers, and we're all kind of hanging out in Trapeza, as you do. And he's like, my boy. He loved to call me my boy. I'm sure he called a lot of people my boy. He says, my boy, why didn't you come to confession? And I was like, I didn't see my name on the list, Father. I'm sorry. And so he said, oh, let's take a look at the list. He goes, Leonard. I said, no, Father. My name's Raphael. We had a wonderful laugh about it. And from that point on, people started. I was Leonard. And so fast forward to my candidacy, and so I'm there, and my dear friend, brother at the time, but now Father Deacon Lazarus, up there in New York, who. My boy. And he was there when the whole Leonard thing happened too. And so I had one of those Death to the World hoodies, with the schema and Death to the World on the hood, and I was like, I couldn't shake all the punk rock off of me. And so he called me Schema Punk Leonard. And again, Father Seraphim at the time, now Panteleimon, thought that was cute. But he had this thing that he would do, and he had a lovely sense of humor. And so he would take his chutki and come on, and he would take it, and he would kind of sneak up on someone and you just lightly slap them and go, repent. Repent. Oh, he was always good for a giggle. And of all the spiritual teachings I was able to glean from him in my comparatively short time spent with him, was that cats love chutkis. So now Archimandrite Gabriel, at the time of my living there, had been gifted a small ragdoll cat named Frida by his parents. And so it was me and Father Gabriel, and at the time Father David, now Father Basil, and maybe Father Macarius, if I'm not mistaken. We're all in the Archimandrite's Kelia there, and we're just chit-chatting, and they're trying to catch the cat. And this thing is all over the place. And Father, he's got one of those electronic recliners. Like, the man's probably never slept in a bed. He kind of leans forward and takes off his prayer rope again. And he goes, "Cats love chutkeys." And he catches the cat with a chutkey. He had 2 cats of his own, both of whom are very, very sweet creatures. But, it's odd, like, to hear him speak about Christ, it almost seemed, he would speak about Christ the way the fathers spoke about Christ, and it was so disarming, because you would, or at the time I should say, I wasn't expecting someone with that much faith to still be in the world, and it was lovely to see, to the point where it made me uncomfortable, in a good way. Like, really made me kind of think about my own faith, and just how fallen I really am. But it's not about me, it's about him today, because I love him. I still love him, just as I still love Father Gabriel, who I've known since 2013. I've known them all since 2013. And it was funny, the first time I visited there, and he wasn't the abbot yet, and he was very ill at the time, and so he only came out of the Kelia like my last day there. And at the time, I was still a chef, and introducing ourselves, and he says, "Oh, what do you do for work?" I was like, "Oh, I'm a cook, I'm a chef." He's like, "Great, you can stay." And I said, I was married at the time. Providential this conversation went. I said, "Oh, I don't know, you'd have to ask my wife about that." And he's like, "Oh, she'll be fine with it." And he wasn't wrong. The man had foresight. And I do not chalk that up to coincidence, because when I got home the next day, she actually said she was surprised that I came back. And she was not joking about that. And it wasn't but a few months later that our marriage ended. And I subsequently wound up back there in the kitchen. Yep. And anyway, I call it therapy, call it what you will, but this is not the episode I intended to put up today. Whatever day this winds up going. I'm hoping this goes up today, on the day, on Thursday. But yipperdoos. So please pray for the repose of Archimandrite Panteleimon Vopel, formerly Archimandrite Seraphim, and may his memory be eternal. I think he was a living saint, but that's just me. And many years to Archimandrite Gabriel and all the brothers at Holy Cross. And the funeral's going to be Saturday. I'm going to try to get up there. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I have the strength or wherewithal, but we'll see what happens. I would like to be there. So yeah, I don't know. Now, people are always asking me about my time at Holy Cross anyway. So there's some nice little anecdotes about my dear Father Panteleimon. Okay, that's enough. God bless you. Thank you. Don't forget to go to church, say your prayers, and remember God. God bless you. I'm not going to talk to the GoPro. I'm going to hit the button this time.